Great. Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to talk at your esteemed college. It's a privilege and an honor to be here. I'm based in the UK, so we're 7:30 in the evening. I think you're 1:30, so I know we often call it the graveyard slot after lunch. So hopefully I won't send all you guys to sleep, and I hope you can understand my British accent. If you can't, please let me know, and I'll try and enunciate clearly and make it as clear as possible.
Thank you.
Great. So today we're going to be talking about AI and how we use that in marketing and content marketing in particular. And what we're going to do in this short talk is talk about how we can launch a business from scratch, from zero, using AI. Oops, hang on. Oops. Oh, there we go. So we're going to create a marketing plan to grow and scale a business profitably in under 60 minutes and for less than $100. But about myself, my background, looking very posh there. I don't always look like that. I'm, as well as a qualified marketer, I'm an accountant. I'm also a ski instructor. I don't do that professionally, but with friends and family, because I love the mountains and skiing. And I've served as a director on a number of companies. And I've been involved with a few mergers, startups, acquisitions, and the like. And I'm a content advisor for Traffic and Conversion Summit, which is an internet marketing conference, which is held once a year in Vegas. Somebody's got to go there. And these are some of the accreditations, qualifications I've got: certified marketer, with digital marketer, and a few other bits, and some testimonials. But that's enough about me and about the webinar. So today, we're going to know how to use AI to do the following: identify our main competitors' websites, their branding and messaging, identify your ideal customer or customer avatar using AI, create a plan to acquire customers profitably at scale using AI, and start creating some content to make that plan. So we could do all of this with no prior knowledge of that business. Of course, it helps to verify that information. And we're going to show how we can use AI to do it at speed and at low cost for less than $100, and to do it to a professional and high standard. So we're going to use a number of AI tools. There are a lot out there, as I'm sure you're aware. There are thousands of tools out there, new ones coming out each day, getting more and more powerful. It's an exciting time to be around. But for today's talk, we're going to talk about using Perplexity AI, ChatGPT, and Claude AI. So Perplexity AI, these different tools can be used in different ways, and people use them for different things. The way I like to use them, and I feel their strengths, are as follows. Perplexity AI is great for searching the web and for websites, searching websites in particular. You can use this for things like competitors' websites, looking at their branding and their messaging, and the cost. It's the professional plan or pay plan, $20 a month. There is a free plan. All of these have free plans. The pay plans, you get a better, more up-to-date model and get the best results. But a lot of this stuff you can actually do on the free plan as well. And that's the link to the website, which we'll come have a look at in a minute. We're also going to use ChatGPT, which I assume probably most of you are familiar with. And this is great for ideation, coming up with ideas. You can also search the web. You can do some code on it. You can do some content on it. And today we're going to use that to create a customer avatar and a customer acquisition plan, and some ideas for a lead magnet. And, oops, not getting stuck. Oops, and it's similar to the other Perplexity. Professional plan is $20 a month. There's also a free plan, and ChatGPT, the link there. I'm sure you're probably familiar with ChatGPT. Claude AI, this is one of my favorites. This is great for content creation and copy. You can train the data, and we'll come on and show you how we do that. So you can put up to, and it may be more now, but certainly before it was up to a 400-page book into Claude AI and teach it and train it to use that data. And that's where the real power of this is. And in regards to what we're doing today, the first one, not so much, but the other tools, we're very much going to use our own data and information and get the AI to use that. A lot of people use these tools and they use the built-in knowledge, which is good. But sometimes it can be a bit bland. Sometimes with content, you start to recognize certain phrases, and you can sometimes say, oh, okay, that was a Facebook post by ChatGPT and so on. So this is the real power, is when you have your own data and you effectively program it with your own data and get it to analyze that and use that data. And we'll see that a bit later on. And today we're going to look at using Claude AI to do Facebook posts, ads, which is basically the same process more or less for social media posts, and some email sequences, and even design a landing page, a simple landing page. And again, costs similar to the other tools, $20 a month, the paid version, and they're also free plans. The paid versions are normally the up-to-date models, and you might be a couple of generations behind on the free plans. So, and that's the website there. So what I'm going to teach today, you can use pretty much on any business, but we're going to use one example. And today we're going to look at a personal trainer business, but all of this applies to pretty much any business. You could do the same thing. So we're going to start off with Perplexity AI, and we're going to look at the main competitors' websites, branding, and messaging. So just bear with me. I'll just flick across to... Okay. So okay. So Perplexity is great at searching the web. I've done what I do. I'll start a new one. I did one just in case we have problems with Perplexity, but I'll start a new thread. So what we find is key with AI is the prompt, but there's a whole, as an industry, which is making money with not much benefit around prompt writing and selling people prompts. Once you understand the basic way of writing a prompt, you can write your own prompts. And a lot of the key we find is telling the AI what its role is, and then telling you what you want it to do. So here, I've pre-written this just to save time, because it's quite a lot to get through in this talk. I'm sure you don't want to watch me type this out. But I basically said, you're an expert marketer in branding and digital marketing. I'm starting a business as a personal trainer. Excuse my English spellings here, but AI seems to work with English and US spellings. Analyze and list the top websites, although it's giving you, it doesn't like the English spelling on this thing here. Analyze the top websites in the space, look at their branding, messaging, identify their ideal customer avatar or persona, come up with some suggested messaging, branding, and create a customer avatar for my personal trainer business. Now, we are a bit short on time. In an ideal world, I'll do this one step at a time and correct it and amend it. I've grouped together a few requests here, and we'll run it. What I will say is we'll let that run. Sometimes AI works perfectly. Other times it's not so good, and you have to run it again. So we'll see. This is live, so we'll see how it does. So it's going through each step here and working it out. It's searching the web, looking for the top sources for the top personal trainer websites, and it's pulled off some here with some names, and then it's looked at some of the branding and messaging on these websites. I won't read this word for word, but you can see it's putting up things like clear propositions, emphasis on trainer credentials and experience, resources, clearly defined programs, and then some different brief outlines of the customer avatars or customer personas, and some suggested messaging for a website, transform your body, transform your life, and so on. Some branding recommendations. And here it's come up with a potential avatar. Now, I wouldn't use this as your whole marketing plan, but it's a good starting point to get some ideas. And you can always ask follow-up questions. If you're not happy with something, you say, oh, well, I'm more interested, say, in a personal trainer focusing on women or on I don't know, busy dads or whatever it might be. And you can ask it follow-up questions. For the sake of this, to move on to the other stuff, we won't do that, but we'll take what it's got here. And it's given us a very, very basic customer avatar or persona. As you may well have learned, that when we find one of the most important parts of marketing is nailing that customer avatar and persona. And it's the demographics, but also looking at those psychological reasons as to why they want to buy and incorporating that into your messaging. And most campaigns we find are either make or break it on that customer persona. So this is very basic. We're going to refine this and make this a lot better, but we're going to use this as a starting point. And they've decided to come up with a female persona with the details here. So what I'll do, I'll just copy the details of this here. Oops. Copy that. And then what I'll do, actually, I'll just start a new Word file in here. So we've got that there. We don't lose it. Okay. So just go back to my slides. So let's just go back one. Oops. All right. Okay. So, sorry, we've done that. So ChatGPT. So we're now on ChatGPT. So we've done Perplexity AI. So ChatGPT, we're going to use ChatGPT to define the customer avatar in more detail, which is basically your ideal customer. Bear in mind, each business might well have more than one avatar persona, which you may be aware of, and each marketing campaign should be just focusing on one avatar and the right messaging for that avatar. We're going to look at a plan to acquire customers properly and lead magnet ideas.
Quentin, would you mind two things? Can you talk a little bit about how much time just the little piece that you already did would have taken if you did not have AI?
Sure. I mean, it could take, well, one of my favorite things to do, because we're not all doing on ChatGPT, you can actually run this on ChatGPT. These other models are better. Then you can ask ChatGPT, how many hours would it take to do this, and what would it cost? And
that's great.
The whole process I'm going through today could take a copywriter and a marketing company. It could take a week or more, one employee. It could cost, it depends. You get copywriters at different grades and so on, but you could be paying several $1,000s in copywriting fees and marketing expertise. It depends. I mean, you could be taking 5,000, 10,000 just to do the whole process I'm talking about at the moment. So, and it depends on the quality and where you're going. But yeah, I mean, you could, at the top end, you might be saying $5,000 to $10,000 for the whole process we're doing today, and the time it could be 1 to 2 weeks. Maybe a week, but depending on what you're doing. But yeah, I mean, it saves massive amounts of money and massive amounts of time if you're running a marketing business, or if you've got your own businesses on the side. You can use this even while you're at college. If you want some business on the side, you can apply this yourself and your other marketing you've learned to set up your own business. And I hope you'll find from this that you can pretty much set up the marketing plan pretty quickly and cheaply. You need to know what you're doing in terms of actual business, so yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Great. Oops, sorry, I'm adding somehow lots of slides that I don't want to know. Sorry, just bear with me 1 second. What's happened? Okay, so before we go into ChatGPT, I'll just sort of refresh you on the custom avatar and what that is. So I understand that you're familiar with custom avatars. There are lots of different models, some called avatars, personas. We're using here the digital marketer framework because I think it goes into a lot of detail and it's very powerful. I won't go through all of it today. I mean, that's a talk in itself, but just a refresher and sort of point out what's involved in the digital marketer one. Obviously, got the name, you got the demographics, which we looked at, which is sort of fairly basic. And then one of the key things is looking at the before and the after. So you're looking at your potential customers before they've experienced a service or product and what they're going to feel like after. So you look at what they have, how they feel, their average day, status, good versus evil, and what that transformation is going to be to how they're going to feel afterwards. So in the fitness thing, they could be fit, healthy, confident, whatever it might be. And we can look at that in a bit more detail. And then we're also going to look at some of their fears and frustrations, their wants and aspirations, and their key purchase drivers. So this is all really powerful stuff to bear in mind when you're building your messaging for the rest of your marketing, the words, the copy on your websites, your ads, and so on. And then, oops. Okay. We've got here, I know I was pressing the wrong, sorry. Okay. We're also going to look at the what the digital marketer call the customer value journey. I think that's terminology, always in terms of customer value journey. And effectively what it is this is how you can set up a plan to acquire customers profitably. You've got your customers here who've never heard of you, through to your customers here who've had a good experience with you and are raving fans. And this is a methodology. There are lots of different frameworks and methodologies, but I think this is a very powerful methodology and a good structure to follow. And we'll look at building this with AI, but just to sort of show you what we're going to build, you've got your awareness phase where customers have never heard of you. So that might be through, they might hear you for Facebook ads, for example, social media posts, engaging. So they might be interacting with blog posts on your website, subscribing. That's where you're getting their email address that you can use to market to them with. And that could be downloading a lead magnet, which could be a guide, a PDF, a calculator, or something like that. And it may well be said to you before, but the money's in the list. It's much easier to get an email address and then prove your value and sell through that email rather than trying to sell a high value product up front. And you can do that, and people do it successfully, but an easier way in is to get that email address. You've got it, and it belongs to you. So then they call it subscribe stage, then convert. Typically, you're looking at maybe selling a low value item. So it could be like a free webinar or a low value webinar on, say, a fitness program. And then once somebody's experienced the value of your service, and they call about an aha, or they're excited about what you can do, and they get your value, you hopefully can then upsell them onto a more profitable program. So it might be a one-to-one training session or a bigger course or something. And then once they've experienced that, hopefully they're very happy with the product they've received and the service. And then they start promoting you, writing reviews, promoting them online, and so on. So this is a model of acquiring customers properly from the beginning. They've never heard of you, through to being paying customers and promoting you to their friends. So again, this is the whole lecture in itself, but just to sort of give you an outline of what we're building online. So we're going to do that in ChatGPT. So we'll just flick screens to ChatGPT. And so here we go. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with ChatGPT. It's very powerful, but we find it works even better when you train it yourself. So I don't know if you're familiar that you can create your own GPTs. So what we've done, and you can do this for anything, and this applies, and with all the stuff we're talking about training here, you can apply any of the data and frameworks you're learning on your course or elsewhere, and apply those to businesses in the real world. So we've created a custom avatar ChatGPT. So I'll just show you how it's set up briefly. So within the ChatGPTs, you can program them with instructions. And we put in here, we describe how the customer avatar works. Now, I won't go into all the details. That's could be another talk, but briefly, just so that it understands, and we've linked to a PDF with that in there, so that it should understand how to produce a ChatGPT. So we'll go back into the actual chat we've created. We've got a new chat here. So we'll put in a prompt, and to save time, I've pre-written this. So I'm going to take this prompt here and put it. I'm afraid a bit of flicking between screens, but I'm saying here, I'm saying who we are. I'm starting a personal trainer business. My ideal customer avatar is here. We don't need to train it too much because it's always been trained to be a customer, create customer avatars. But we'll take that customer avatar we got as a starting point from Perplexity. We'll copy that in there to give it something to work from. And then we'll just copy and paste it in there. And we'll let it run. And hopefully it'll produce something of value. So I won't read through it word for word, but I'll just pick out the main points. So it's going through some of the basics in terms of the name, the demographics, and so on. Now it'll produce a whole lot of stuff. you can always go back and ask ChatGPT, say, oh, I don't like, could you change the age? Could you, actually, I know people into fitness read this particular magazine or hang out on this blog or like this activity. Could you add that? So today we'll take this as read, but in real life, you can go back and amend it and edit it by telling ChatGPT what you like and you don't like, and it will rework it. So we've got the basics here in terms of what they might be interested in. And then we've got fears and frustrations. What keeps them up at night? Guilty, maybe about not maintaining a regular fitness routine, eating healthily. Frustrations about personal life and fitness goals and career, and so on. Complaints about current options. Many workout programs don't consider time limitations or need flexibility. And these you can also inform not just in your marketing, but actually designing your products. If you're designing a program, you do well to do your research and design your program about around some of these points, assuming they're correct. And then we've got here values, purchase drivers, what they're looking at, time-efficient workout plans, flexibility, nutritional guidance, stress-reducing routines, yoga, mindfulness, accountability is important. So check-ins, fitness plans, diet plans, budgets up to a point, quality, things they're worried about in terms of time, sticking to the program. And then the before and after grid we were talking about, so where they are at the moment, the before, inconsistent routines, lack of energy, overwhelmed, low confidence, lack of energy. I won't go through every one of these, but struggling to stay active and healthy. And then this is what you're delivering with the program and demonstrating within your marketing. Clear, easy to follow program, more energy, more confidence, less stressed, time for the workouts, feeling empowered, conquers, these are often the good versus the conquers temptation of inactivity, poor nutrition, being healthy, strong role model. She wants to be to her kids, so she might be telling her kids, for example, that they need to live a healthy lifestyle, but not living that herself, and know that she really needs to be that role model. So these, I think, are all useful things. And given more time, we could go back and edit that. But for now, what I'll do, I'll just copy this. And we'll just save that because we're going to use that. So as I mentioned before, your customer avatar should be the foundation of all your marketing and everything you do in your marketing and your business. So we'll go back into, actually look at the link, save time. We're now going to build a customer value journey. So this is the process. So we've looked at our business, some of the messaging, customer avatars. We defined who we're targeting, that broadly speaking, the type of messaging we want to use. Now we need to look at how are we going to find these customers who've never heard of us to start engaging with us, buying our services, signing up for our email address, and promoting us to their friends and colleagues and so on. So again, I built within ChatGPT, and again, this is where we find the power of AI is with the programming of it yourself. So I put in here a bit like the customer avatar. I've defined what the digital marketing customer value journey is. I put all the stages, some examples in there, and at some point there's a link to a PDF with it in there. Again, I won't go into the details of that too much, but you can program it with what you like. And at the end, I'll give you some ideas where you can get some data for your own use. So we've got the CVJ. We're gonna write a prompt and saves time. I'm gonna just copy and paste this. So, okay. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna copy and paste our customer avatar so it knows who our customer is. A lot of copying, pasting, and jumping between screens, but
it's a lot easier than what you would normally do to get all of this information.
Absolutely. I mean, it blows my mind what you can do.
Yeah.
You always, with AI, you need to sense check it, and having that knowledge helps as well. I mean, but you do need to sense check it, and particularly when it comes to facts. It has a tendency to make up testimonials which do not use many made-up testimonials generated by AI. Not least, it's unethical, but it's also illegal in most countries. So and any facts you need to double check and fact check. Perplexity references actually a lot of its facts, and ChatGPT now and the advanced models are as well. But you still just need to be really careful about that, and that it's with the facts. But the rest of the stuff is great, and we use it. We find it's 90% there. But you always need to read it and human edit it. I wouldn't literally copy and paste it. I would human edit it. But boy, I mean, you're saving so much time. It's amazing, and cost in terms of if you're employing people or getting somebody else to do it. So here's the customer value journey. And it's come up with some ideas. So awareness, how's they're going to find out customers find out your business, suggesting social media ads, and some ideas for messaging for that. Again, I won't go through all the detail because there's a lot to cover, but hopefully you can get the point and you can do this yourself on the business you're interested in. Engage, so how are you going to engage? Okay, blog posts, videos, Instagram stories, maybe some ideas for some content ideas potentially in here. How are you going to subscribe? How are you going to get their email address? So giving them so much value up front that's relevant to what you offer. So you get that email address, the customers raise their hand saying, I'm interested in what you have to offer. They may not be ready to buy yet. They may need convincing that you're credible, trustworthy, and offer value. We're getting their email address. And here we have a 7-day workout planner and some webinars and so on. Convert some ideas from some low entry offers. So maybe you can get them to sign up to a 30-minute session at a low cost. Aha moments, they've had a great experience with you. You maybe send them to a more expensive one-on-one consultation or recorded program. Advocates, get them to write testimonials, incentivize them, give them merch and stuff. Referrals, create affiliate programs. So a few ideas there. And again, you can always edit this and say, you can ask ChatGPT, say, oh, well, actually, I don't like that. Or can you come up with some more ideas for awareness? Or could you expand on that? But again, for thickness of time, I won't do that today, but you can get it to expand and edit these. In terms of sort of progressing, so this is a basic plan to acquire a customer who's never heard of you into a raving fan. We'll start some of that content to just show you how you can do that. And what we'll do, we'll ask it to come up with 10 ideas for lead magnets. So I think I had lead magnet. So save time. So if you're not familiar with the lead magnet, it's basically something, some value you're offering relevant to your service in exchange for that email address. And it's very important to get emails because social media accounts can be closed down and so on. You don't own those social media accounts. I mean, they're very important for promoting your business, but your goal should always be get that email address, because once you've got the email address, it belongs to you. Nobody can take that from you, and you can market to them, not just with your business, but with other businesses, referrals, affiliate programs, and so on. Okay, we've asked it to write 10 lead magnets, and it's come up with some ideas. We'll take this first one here, the free 7-day workout planner for busy mums. And you can also ask for more. You can ask them to expand on it, to come up with the headings for that, and so on. We won't do that today, but I just want to show you what you can do. And I think you probably can sort of go into more detail if you wanted to. So we'll just flick back. So that's ChatGPT. And then let's just play kind of slide. So the next model we're going to use is Claude AI. And Claude AI is amazing, I think. We're going to create a landing page for a lead magnet. We're going to create a Facebook ad for the lead magnet and an email follow-up sequence for that lead magnet. So we'll jump into Claude. Again, I've got some links I saved earlier. Okay. So
this process of everything he's gone through so far with my business that I was showing you guys in class the other day took me probably 9 months of full-time work. to get to the point where I knew what my customer value journey looked like, what I was going to offer, creating those things, creating a website, figuring out what colors, what verbiage, what copy to use to attract my customer avatar, my target market. So this is like quite revolutionary.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time and digging and research, and of course we did some of the stuff that I think there's quite a lot of stuff we went into there, but you can get a whole lot more value if you want to ask more about branding, color suggestions, what colors would work best, color codes, all this sort of stuff. Use your own judgment too, of course, and your own creativity, but and I say never copy anybody else exactly, but you can learn from it and get inspired. So Claude, again, is amazing for content and copy. And again, what's really powerful about it is the knowledge that you can put into it. So you can set up these things called projects in Claude. I'll just show you where they are. If you, in here you go, projects. And you can, what we've done here, we put in some knowledge. I've uploaded, you can upload, it's at least a 400-page book. It may even be more now. So it's a lot of knowledge you can put in there, and then with that knowledge you can add some instructions. So I've uploaded in here for a lead funnel. I don't know if you're familiar with lead funnels, but they're a simple design aimed to get email addresses with a lead magnet, basically. And we're using the model used by ClickFunnels, which a lot of people use as well, and other people. So we've given it some instructions. Again, we've told AI what its role is. You're an expert building lead funnel web pages. And I find with AI, as a general rule, the more specific you are, the better. So when you're creating the ChatGPTs, the more specific you are, the better. When you're creating projects, the more specific you are, the better in terms of the data you put in there and the instructions. You made it narrow it down as much as possible, and then you get better results, and it doesn't go off so much. So we've told it to use the project knowledge to build lead funnels, and they're in there. So what I'll do, I'll put a prompt in there. And again, to save time, I've pre-written these. So okay. So we will go into Claude. So I've asked them to, I'll just copy these in and I'll just tell you what we've done. Do we copy that? I think I didn't save the lead magnet idea. Let me flick back into the lead magnet. Let me just copy that. Okay. Let's save that. So let's put it in here. Oops, so we can use it again. Okay, so we've got the lead magnet. Claude. That shift. By the way, if you want to enter stuff into ChatGPT and Claude, well, certainly on a Mac, it's shift and return. Otherwise, if you're not careful, it enters everything. If you want to break out the paragraphs, I only found out relatively recently and saved a bit of burfing around. And then we're going to say that the customer avatar is and then we'll just copy that in there. And then we'll set up there. So it's our customer avatar. Copy that. And then put that in here. Okay, and I'll set that off. So it'll wear away. What I will say about Claude, this isn't actually what it's best at, and we'll come on to what it's best at. It'll build a landing page. It won't be perfect by any means. It'll create even the HTML for it. Bear in mind, we're in the early days of Claude and AI producing HTML. There will probably a point when it produces amazing landing pages. I wouldn't use directly the landing page it produces. However, you can use it as what we would call a wireframe. So it can be your outline that you can give to a designer who can make it look pretty and beautiful and so on. And so here it's come up with a spin something away with a thing. So I'll move this out of the way so we can look at it. So come up with a headline and some sub-headlines, some benefits and so on, and an order form. As I said, I wouldn't use that directly, but you can get the code or whatever, and you can copy and paste that and give it to a designer. What you can also do, and again, for things of time, I won't do it here, but you can always go back to Claude and say, look, I don't like this color scheme. Use these color codes. Make this look prettier, make it look better. Change this headline and so on. So you can have an interactive editing session with it. But just for because so I can cover all the points today, I won't go through and edit it, but that's relatively straightforward to do. And here it tells you what it's done. Tells you the headline, why it's chosen that headline, why it's chosen that sub-headline, explains its benefits, it's explained the design. It's given some other suggestions. You can always ask it to write another one. And with AI, it very much is an iterative process. You can always go back and ask it to make improvements and changes.
That is amazing. So if you don't mind, I'm going to pause you there just to make sure we have some time for questions. Do you guys have questions? What questions do you have is a better way of asking that. Yeah, Rory.
What factors influence your career path?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Sorry.
I got you. Could you tell them a little bit about your career path and how you kind of ended up where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, mine's not necessarily a usual career path. I actually started in finance, in accountancy, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. It was considered a good business qualification. I then actually started working, doing finance as a finance analyst in a marketing agency. I found that the marketing guys were having a lot more fun than the accountants, and across the floor, as it were, and then worked within industry in marketing. And then I set up my own agency and followed up with more training.
Awesome. Any other questions? Yeah.
Other than it being like a huge time saver, different like reason why you want to use it.
Yeah. So question is, besides the huge time saving, why else would we want to use AI for these types of processes?
It's the quality is very good. I didn't really have a chance to show some of the copywriting stuff, but I can show you on that how amazing it is. So it can produce, you can program it with all sorts of models. So we program it with our own data and other data we've got, and you can tell it to learn from that. So I've done some social media posts and Facebook groups. I've done my own and AI ones, and they've got just as much reaction. They've beaten some of the ones I've done myself. So it can be very high quality. I mean, you got to put the right data in to get that output. So the quality is good. Provided you do it correctly and you edit it and check it, and it saves time and cost if you're doing it yourself. Or if you're employing people, you don't need to employ so many people. That saves costs as well.
So think about it this way. If you wanted to learn how to write really effective copy for your web page, for your emails, for any of your marketing materials, you would either have to hire a copywriter that would cost you money and would cost you time, or you would have to train yourself, especially if you are like an individual, like a solopreneur, right? You would have to train yourself how to do it. But in this case, all you have to do is like basically upload a PDF that talks about how to be an effective copywriter, and then you ask the bot to be an effective copywriter based on that information. So instead of you learning all the different tasks you have to learn, like how to do code for your landing page or paying someone to do that, how to write a lead magnet and what should be included in that, you're training these tools to do that for you. Sam, you got a question?
Yeah, the issue comes up is about like incorrect information. So what do people do with that?
Say what was the question?
Like, you know how AIs are not 100% correct.
Yeah.
So like with those incorrect informations, what can a person do to avoid those information?
Yeah. So how can you avoid the errors that ChatGPT might come up with?
Sure. It's not perfect. Even ChatGPT and Anthropic Claude say that. If you use your own data, it's better and much more accurate because it learns from that. You still have to read it and check it and correct it. It's kind of related to that. And the other question, we may not have time to do this, but I'll just show you, for example, what we've done, the value of it with copywriting. In here, I've got a project for Facebook ads, engaging Facebook ads, and I've given it frameworks, successful different frameworks, AI copywriting frameworks that I know have worked. And I've told the AI to read and analyze those. I actually did one earlier. We don't have got time to run a new one, but this is pretty much based on what we did before just now. And it will produce different, on different proven formats. It'll prove different Facebook ads using the copy there. And you can ask it, you say, you can tell it which framework you want it to use, or you can get it to use different ones, or say which is the best for this business. And it'll come out and it'll produce these Facebook ads. I've also done a similar thing, I think we're going to run out of time to show you, but on an email sequence that you can send to those who signed up for your lead magnet to get them to book a call. I've got some frameworks of highly successful emails, and I put them in there and trained it. So you just say, analyze these emails that work for booking a call for this business, and it produces those emails. So it's highly successful in terms of copying that. And one thing that I haven't come on to, but I think might be useful for you to know about, is if you don't have your own data, I just flick back to it, but there are ways. I programmed up some of my own data, but you don't necessarily need your own data. There are places you can get data from. So if you don't have your own data, you can make your own swipe files. You can look at your competitors, direct and indirect, sign up for emails from big companies, and you can load those emails into Claude and say, right, analyze these emails and what makes them successful. Even tell me what makes them successful, and then give them your business and tell them to write in the same style. Look at, if you don't have your own social media, look at social media posts that have got really high engagement, likes, comments and stuff. Copy them, put them in. Don't use them, but use them as the data. Say, these are highly successful, engaging social media posts. Write posts like this. There's a website called swipe.co. On there, there's some very well-known and very successful copy on there for landing pages, emails, Facebook ads that are in the public domain. You can use those as your swipe files and put them into Claude and tell them to use that. And you can search online for good examples. And remember, it doesn't have to be direct competitors. The indirect competitors are very successful. So you look at what's working out there, and that's the beauty of and that's where it's more effective. You train Claude or ChatGPT of your own data, and it's a lot better than just saying, oh, Claude or ChatGPT, write me an engaging social media post, because it may be all right, it may be a bit there. And it may be using the same phraseology it's using on 100 million other social media posts. But if you train it with models that you know work, then it's a lot better, a lot more accurate, and you'll get a lot better results.
And I like to think about it like this. Quentin, tell me if you agree or disagree. But if you have no knowledge about marketing or what successful marketing looks like, the components of marketing, you putting information into AI is like kind of the end of the process, because whatever comes back, you're not going to have that base knowledge to judge what it's giving you, right? So I like to think of it like a calculator. Yeah, you can use a calculator to do formulas for you, but you have to have some ideas if that answer is correct.
Absolutely. And one of the key things in marketing that's worth studying is copy. Even if you're good at understanding the copy frameworks and how that works, because that is also central to everything. If you can understand copy, you understand marketing and copy as well, then you can look at it and you say, is this nonsense or not? So yeah, absolutely. But people will try using it, but they don't know what good copy. They don't know necessarily the right data to put in and what is good data to put in. Or if they're just using it straight off, they don't know what's good and what's not. But you have that advantage. You know what's good. You can produce average marketing with limited knowledge, but you can be head and shoulders above everybody else with that knowledge. Absolutely. So with that knowledge you've got and you're learning, you know how to use that data. You can look at it and you can say to ChatGPT, and sometimes it will come out with nonsense. Nah, that's nonsense. Write it again. And sometimes it goes, okay, and you'll completely rewrite it. Or you'll know, oh, I like that, but I don't like that. So, but yeah, if you don't have that knowledge in the first place, you won't know how to edit it, or you won't know if it's good or not until you spend a lot of money testing it and then discover, oh, actually, it doesn't work so well.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We've just got a couple minutes left, so I'm going to close it out. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Otherwise, I appreciate your
No problem. Well, it's a pleasure talking to you. I'm afraid we've had a bit of time and there's a lot to cover. So I hope it wasn't too much of an information overload for you guys. If any of you have any questions, the QR code that takes me to my LinkedIn tree, you can contact me on there. The number of different methods to contact me. By all means, feel free to ask me if you've got any questions about AI and marketing. I'm very happy to answer your questions. Or through Tamale, so very happy. I hope it wasn't too much of a whistle-stop tour. And I hope it was useful to you guys.
Thank you so much. I will chat with you later, okay?
Okay, well, thanks for your time, guys, and good luck with your course. And maybe it's a use for your course, but also, guys, you can use it to set up a business if you want while you're studying, get some extra cash. You can, if you need to know how to do the business, but the marketing you can set up like in, after the lesson today, So, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.